Hello again, my dudes. Welcome back to the channel. This is Kadima bringing you my final Black Myth Wukong video. This time I'm going to talk about my final thoughts and review for this game and what was the highlights and the most disappointing features for me in Black Myth Wukong. First thing I want to say is I am currently in New Game plus 3. I have completed the game actually 4 times. I have 2 separate save files, one of them which was my original blind playthrough, where I knew nothing about the game, which made it all the way to New Game Plus, but I did not continue with that save file. I created a new one, and I have completed the game again 3 times. I am in New Game Plus 3 with this current save file. Now, the reason why I made it this far was because I wanted to experience the Wukong Stance, which is something that you can only get after you completed the game 3 times. As you reach New Game Plus 3, you have unlocked all the relics, and now you have access to the Wukong Stance. And I want to talk about this stance. Now, first thing I want to say is when it comes to the game itself, I absolutely loved it. I love the design, I love the concept, I love the storyline, I love the enemies variety, the bosses variety, the scenery variety. I love the different kinds of weapons, the different sets of armor, how the visuals of these look, the move sets. I love the fact that you have different stances, at least, that you can start with the pillar stance, the smash stance, and the spear stance. I loved all of them. I find that they give the player a lot of variety and a lot of things to try to find their own footing and see what suits their style the better. I love all of these things, and I can't praise game science enough for it. Now, when it comes to the game itself, to each chapter, uh, loved everything in general. A little thing that I would change was I would give it a little bit more of sideways exploration. The game at times feels a bit too linear. There is only one path forward. Also, when it comes to a place where the path actually splits, most times you will find that either the second path that just opened for you it's a dead end, or it leads to going all the way around and back to the same place you were before, which it kind of closes in a loop, which is fine. It makes sense for this game. I just wish I had a little bit more of that, a little bit of more side exploring. However, not criticizing, just my personal preference when it comes to this kind of game. I did not expect this to be an open game like Elden Ring. It's not the point here. I'm happy that it's a linear game, and I'm happy that it works that way. When it comes to the armor sets, and I just want to showcase what I've got everything. I've got all the weapons, I've got all the armor pieces, everything you can get in the game, and as you can see, there's plenty to choose from. I also love the fact that when you fully upgrade some of these sets to mythical, some of their visuals also change. I love the curious variety. There's plenty to choose from, although some of these are repeated versions of the same. Some not so much, some are unique. And I want to talk about that as well. And when it comes to the gourd, I love the fact there are plenty to choose from, allowing for different combinations, especially with the drinks and the soaks as well. It allows for many different playstyles and setups. For the spirits, I have everything. I love the variety as well. There's 54 different spirits you can choose from. Absolutely love it. The one thing I wish we had a bit more variety is vessels. I mean, we got plenty of weapons, plenty of spirits, plenty of headpieces, plenty of chest pieces, plenty of leg and arms pieces, but then we only have 4 vessels, which is a bit disappointing because it seems a bit unbalanced compared to all the other items that you can get. However, I'm not gonna criticize game science for this choice. I just wish there was a little bit more. I would say maybe 6, maybe 10. 10 would be great. allowing for more options, more variety, and maybe different playstyles as well. When it comes to the relics, I love all the buffs that you get. I can't really judge anything when it comes to this. They seem quite good. When it comes to the self-advance and the spark system, I love the fact that you can invest on anything you want pretty much straight away. Of course, certain things are locked behind level 15, some behind level 30, some behind level 45, which makes sense. But you pretty much can invest as you go, however you choose to invest. One thing, however, I like to point out is that it reaches a point, and that point is just about level 180, level 200 maybe, that your sparks are not really giving you any benefits because you will be starting investing those in different staff stances, for example, or different spells that you currently do not have equipped, or yeah, you pretty much start investing on things you don't really need. So yeah, that would be my criticizing point when it comes to the sparks. I wish I could make more investment in maybe exhilaration or maybe instinct instead. But it is how it is, and it's still a nice setup. I love the fact that you have so many transformations available as well, and that you can set them up as you please. One thing I also want to praise is the inventory is pretty simple to navigate, not hard at all, and the journal makes it very interesting. The fact that you get access to a journal and you can track your progress, you can track your meditation spots as well, and you also have a know-how which kind of basically gives you the basics on combat and the game itself. The settings pretty much easy to change. You can go with different input types. However, one thing I want to talk about is actually the input delay. Sometimes in the middle of a fight, I feel there's a little bit of input delay. Often I press the healing button and it doesn't really heal. It feels like I pressed the button and the game didn't really assimilate that I pressed it. And I wish that devs could do something about that, that there wasn't such a delay. Sometimes it even feels like there is no response at all to controller input. But in any case, it's still a very good game. However, I want to finish my review video talking about something else. But first, again, I want to remind that in my opinion, chapter and scenery variety is very good. You got open areas out in the desert, you got semi-open areas in the forest, you got closed areas in caves, and then it just makes the game interesting in my opinion and very visually appealing. One thing I want to point out, and that's how I plan to end my critique of Black Myth Wukong, it is the Sun Wukong Stance, actually. I found out when I came to New Game Plus 3 that the Wukong Stance actually can only be obtainable if you are using the Sun Wukong armor set and his weapon. You cannot get the Wukong Stance to trigger if you are using any other pieces of equipment. Even if you just change one of them, the Sun Wukong Stance just isn't there. So it is a little bit disappointing. I understand the reason behind it. I'm not going to say I don't understand it. I understand it. You should look like Sun Wukong if you want to have the Sun Wukong stance, which is fine. I can forgive that. I can understand that. One thing I cannot forgive and I cannot understand, however, is number one, why is it not just a permanent stance? I had to complete the game 3 times to get the stance and it only lasts for 60 seconds. And that's heartbreaking. I wish it was just permanent. The moment you have this gear equipped, it just should be there. Especially if it's locked behind you having this equipment, you should just permanently have the Sun Wukong stance. Period. I wish it worked like that. And also, the most disappointing thing about the Wukong stance, it's actually to do with Freed Mind Relic and the Unified Minds. Unfortunately, the Unified Minds does not work with the Wukong stance. That's right. Probably, if you aren't aware of this, I have just disappointed you as well. But the Unified Minds basically says that when the Destined One performs certain powerful moves, the duplicates will follow suit. And if you have used this relic, basically what it does is that when you do full focus charged attacks, or when you do light combo finishers, your duplicates will copy you, and this allows for a certain playstyle that gives you the chance to dish out extreme amounts of damage, especially when all the duplicates land the full focus charged attacks at the same time as you. However, when you are in Wukong Stance, this doesn't work. The duplicates do not copy you, they do not follow suit. They actually become incredibly stupid and still. Most times they don't even do anything, which was the most disappointing thing of all for me in Black Myth Wukong. And I want to end the video with that note. I loved the game, loved everything about it, but when I came to all the trouble to get the Wukong stance, and then I found out that it's this badly designed, I was very heartbroken and I was very disappointed. In any case, still, I would classify this game as an easy 9 out of 10. It's not perfect, especially with this disappointment. It did prevent me from giving it a 10 out of 10. I wish I could, but I want to end the video with a note. Thank you all so much for helping me reach 3,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome, and I love being a part of your community, and I love that you help support the channel. Thank you all for doing so. If you are new, do consider subscribing. It does help along the way, and hopefully I'll see you guys in a future Black Myth Wukong DLC video. Thank you all for watching. Cheerio!